Hey guys, and welcome to
How You Been?
Our limited edition podcast sponsored by DoorDash.
Yes, DoorDash is our sole sponsor of How You Been, and we're so excited to work with them because we love ordering from DoorDash.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what that is, it is a food delivery service, an app where you can get all your local go-tos of your neighborhood or your favorite chain restaurants delivered right to your door. Speaking of, Grace, I'm going to go and order some food because I'm starving, so when we're done with this podcast, I'm ready to grub out.
Great. Well, I'll introduce this episode. Today we're talking to the one and only Todrick Hall. And not only has he achieved one of his childhood dreams of collaborating with the one and only Brandy, because Cinderella, if you didn't know, is now currently on Disney+, but also he's moved into his first home. He's designing designer beds, and he's really schooling us on the way that you should efficiently handle your work world, even when you're in a pandemic. So please enjoy this episode of How You Been with Todrick Hall. Hey, Mamrie, should we ask him?
Yeah. Hey, Todrick, how you been?
I've been good. I've been real good. But I'm better now that I'm with you two.
Oh, we are so happy to see you.
I know.
I was hoping you'd be in front of a display case of shoes, and I got my wish.
Of course. There's no other place to be.
You look like you're in a store in Beverly Hills right now.
You said what?
You look like you're inside of a store in Beverly Hills.
This is I just moved into a new home during quarantine, and
Yes.
I spent my whole life, coming out of the closet and being proud of that. And now I spend all my time in the closet again. It's just like, this is what's going to do for you guys.
But this time it's your choice. It's your choice.
Yes.
I know. You look like you're in a store that would Julia Roberts Pretty Woman me.
Yeah.
That would not let you come in and make a big mistake. Huge.
Todrick, even though we are in a pandemic, you are the busiest seeming person I've ever seen, which is consistent with your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have to first and foremost talk about the biggest things happening right now. You just released a Cinderella medley with icon Brandy.
Yes.
What and how and why?
Well, I woke up like a week and a half ago on a Thursday morning. I was just going to do my thing. And I got a message from my friend Lyle saying, what are we going to do about this? Or is there a party? Is there a viewing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I see that Disney Plus has announced that Cinderella, Rodgers and Hammerstein with Whitney Houston, Whoopi Goldberg, Victor Garber, all of the people that I grew up watching since in 1997 when I was in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
They were releasing it finally to Disney Plus. And this is a humongous deal to me. Like every gay that I know was like posting this all over their timeline. Because that movie changed my life. And so luckily I have a personal relationship with Brandy, and I called her immediately and I was like, Brandy, I have never asked you for like a favor, quote unquote, in my entire life, but it would make my dreams come true if you would do a medley mashup with me of Cinderella. And she was like, I would love to, but are we going to be able to get it together in time? And I said,
Yeah.
Brandy, you're talking to Todrick Hall, honey.
Yeah.
Impossible
Wait, so that
things are happening
video
every day.
with the video with full ballroom costumes,
Choreo.
full choreography, you just whipped that up and threw that together last minute?
72 hours, baby. Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
What are we doing wrong? Why does it take us? It took us 3 hours to set up for this podcast right now.
I will be like, you know what? I have a goal. In 72 hours, I'm going to wash my hair. That is amazing.
Incredible.
And also, Grace and I watched it together, and there was a brief second where I was like, wait, did they just somehow CGI this? Because Brandy hasn't aged a damn day.
Crazy. This is no joke. I went to the dermatologist yesterday because I don't get those reviews from people when they see me. They're like,
oh, shut up.
You look like you've been working in these Benjamin Button streets. And so I got to get it together. I went and got some a moisturizer, Jesus. I was like, I got to fix it up because I'm looking very CGI'd in the opposite way. They're like, did you get a new old age feature or like a little Snapchat filter?
Oh.
Does he have the old man from Up filter on?
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm mid-30s and sometimes I wake up and I'm like, you're looking a little Bill Cosby-ish. Is that too soon?
Oh, you're talking to two women who go get bestie Botox.
Yeah, we do.
Ew.
BB. It's very fun, but
Grace has to hold my hand.
yeah, it's like a child getting like a booster shot.
Well, I must say, not just to be flirtatious, but you are looking very preserved, both of you. You look very, very great. So
Thank you. It's the gin.
It's fear.
No, that must have been incredible to actually relive the movie that changed your life so much.
Also, you say you have a personal relationship with Brandy. I'm curious, when was the first time you met Brandy, and did you embarrass yourself at all?
Great.
this is a funny story, actually. And yes, I did embarrass myself. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll say this fast. I used to musicals. And I went to a dance studio, and I was auditioning kids to be Munchkins in the show. And this girl comes in, turns in her paper, and it says Sarah Norwood on it, or whatever. And it said her mom's name. It said parents' name, Brandy Norwood. And I said, interesting. What's going on? And so she ended up not even being able to do the show because her life was so busy. So she wasn't able to do it. And then a couple of years later, I had never met Brandy, but I was having a Wizard of Oz themed party, and Brandy had posted a video of her singing Summer Over the Rainbow from her bathroom. And I said, Todrick, why don't you just reach out to Brandy and just ask her if she'll come sing at your party? Who do I think I am? And so
Todrick,
she responded,
Hall,
and she was very sweet, but she was like, how did you get my number? And like, needless to say, she did not come sing Over the Rainbow at my party. And I thought that was going to be like the last way that I saw her. But then I met her in like Atlanta or in Chicago. She was performing live at a gay club, and I went there and I met her, and we immediately hit it off. And then she did Chicago on Broadway before I went in, and I got to hang out with her backstage. I flew to DC to see her at the Kennedy Center because I'm just such a humongous Brandy fan. From Moesha to her music to Cinderella, it was just, I've been following her career since I was a child, and like she is just, I actually just got off the phone with her for an hour this morning, and this video brought us together. And I just have to say, as like a huge Disney fan, this project was so magical. Like listening to her sing in my own little corner when she sang it into the microphone, being in the room with someone when they're singing is just like incredible, especially a voice that you've been listening to for multiple decades. It was I've done so many videos and so many magical themed videos, but this was the one that like had just like a little bit of extra pixie dust for me. So it was a bucket list thing, and it's one of my proudest moments.
My God.
That's so cool. And also, I mean, Todrick, you're one of those people that inspires me because like you take the risks of reaching out and asking Brandy to come perform at your party.
I have no shame. And then I took it a step further and asked Whoopi Goldberg, Bernadette Peters, like.
Oh, you got everyone.
I know. I saw Bernadette, and I've never used the phrase gagged. I was gagged. Bernadette gagged me. So cool. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but I did sing Brandy's part in The Boy Is Mine during the Star Mountain High School prom preview in 2000. But
there you go.
We'll get to that later.
We need that footage. If we can dig up that footage, we need it.
Please.
So good. Just two white girls in a one stoplight town, like just trying their damn best.
Oh no.
Love
so good.
Todrick, I have a question.
Yes.
You talk about all the theater and Broadway that you've done. This last year, obviously, everything's been put on hold. Everything's been shut down. How have you coped with not being able to tour and not being able to perform live? Like, what is your... I mean, obviously, you got distracted with moving, which is a very beautiful project to have worked on.
Yeah.
But being in front of an audience is a whole, like, sustenance you haven't gotten.
It was really, that part has been hard for me because on top of being in front of an audience, like I have definitely missed performing and getting to feel the energy from an audience, but I'm a bigger fan of going to see musicals than I am of being in them. Like I love theater. I'm such a theater nerd. I go see maybe 40 or 50 shows a year.
Wow.
Maybe not different shows, but I'll go see the same show 8 times.
Sure.
Because I love being in the theater. I think that in this day and age, I'm very like anti everyone being on their phone all the time. And I just love that like theater is the one field, like for the most part, that hasn't been infiltrated by just like not talented TikTokers and people that
very true.
You can't do 8 shows a week if you can't do 8 shows a week. You can't sing notes if you can't sing them live. And so to be able to go listen to a live orchestra and turn off your phone and be invested in something is like, in a storyline and in the characters and watching them perform, and people who have mastered the art that didn't skip steps, but who have done their pliés and gone to ballet and worked on their acting and fine-tuned their voices. It's so incredible because it's sad to say that it doesn't exist very much in the entertainment world. Everything is sorcery and special effects, from people's talent to the way they look. So
absolutely. It's like an escapism that we don't have now, because now it's like I can be immersed in a show and probably still have my laptop, my phone. You know what I mean? And it really is, you have to like block it all out.
There's a lot of like ritual around going to the theater that gets lost now because everyone has to be on hold. But also, like you said, it's so impressive because there's no smoke screens really in theater. That talent is talent, like bar none. That
no auto-tune.
Yeah, you can't put filters on someone. Yeah, you can't change their voice. Like, you're gonna tell when someone's incredibly magically talented.
Yeah, and that's why I love it so much. So that part has made me more sad than not performing. In all honesty, I was exhausted. My voice was tired. My body was tired. So it was really cool to just like get to be a normal person, and I love taking pictures with people, but like to not have to do that for a whole year has been really cool and refreshing, and like made me come down to earth and get a reality check and be humbled, because sometimes you can start to believe that you're Beyonce in your mind because you're surrounded by people who are always like hyping you up. And this year I realized I'm not Beyonce. I'm very
however, I have said, did you know that Todrick Hall also has 24 hours in the day? Yeah, people say about Beyonce. I'm just like, yeah, I know Beyonce has 24 hours, but did you know Todrick also works by the Mayan calendar? No, one of the last things that Grace and I did before quarantine and everything shut down was to go see your show.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, if I'm going to have a live experience before I'm not going to for a year, that like filled up the tank, if you will. But one of the most impressive things I feel like I've ever seen you do is I went to go see your previous tour. I'm blanking on the name, but the
Wizard of
Oz one.
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
And all of the PA system went out, and you guys had to just kind of like keep the audience and improvise for 45 minutes. And I remember being astounded. Like, I have visceral nightmares about this. And you were like, okay, you go do that dance. And you just kept the audience entertained, you and your dancers and everyone, for like 45 minutes while your microphones didn't work. And it was just
incredible.
I mean, I was nervous. I was pacing in the lobby. I was like, they don't serve booze. And it was like you were keeping me calm, which for me is the ultimate performer, because all I want is to go watch something and not be nervous they're going to mess up.
Yep.
And you really like took the ultimate. So I just want to give you props. I don't know if I ever told you that.
I forgot that ever happened.
The real deal.
I forgot that ever happened. So that's really crazy that you...
I'm getting the sweats.
And the fact that you were brave enough to come back to another concert after all that anxiety was caused from going to see my show.
No, it was incredible.
Thank you for the courage and braverism.
You know, just doing my part.
Well, let's talk about something else that's incredibly brave. You're a homeowner now.
Yes.
Wow. You got a brand new place. Talk us through this. How was this experience? Was this a plan that you had this year? Did the pandemic kind of make this more of an opportunity for you to do?
As two women who look at Zillow like it's
constantly.
porn. Like it's, I mean, absolutely. Like, my boyfriend walks in the room and I'm like, no, I'm not watching anything. I'm not looking up houses in Ohio for no reason.
I know. I do that. I was doing that this quarantine. I was like, maybe if I moved to Kalamazoo, Michigan, I could really put some shit up.
I really had Nashville on my mind for a second. Yeah.
I feel a Nashville vibe for you. I still think that you should... I think you should visit that Zillow page frequently, just in case.
We'll see. We'll see.
Search.
Ugh, do you ever get home from a big old journey to the grocery store, gonna cook an amazing meal and realize you forgot the one ingredient that you need to finish it? Well, no worries, because now DoorDash can bring those ingredients straight to you from the store. That's right. It's not just delivery from your favorite restaurants, chains, and local favorites. You can also get snacks, drinks, and household essentials in 30 minutes with DoorDash. DoorDash connects you with the restaurants you love right now, right to your door. Ordering's easy. You open the DoorDash app, choose what you want from where you want, and your items will be left safely outside your door with contactless delivery, drop, all settings. They've got over 300,000 partners in the U.S., Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia. And you can support your neighborhood go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, and maybe Cheesecake Factory, which I'm not even going to lie, I ordered a couple days ago from DoorDash, and it was like I was being reunited with an old friend I hadn't seen in a year. So for a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code HHYB. That's 25% off up to a $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code HHYB. Do not forget, that's code HHYB for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change. Terms do apply.
Well, okay, so you sprouted some roots.
Yeah,
How did
so
this go?
not to make things too deep, but
No, please.
whenever when all of the protests and the Black Lives Matter things were happening last year in like April, May, June, I started just like doing research and watching documentaries, and I started realizing that a lot of like African-American people just in general across the board in America don't have generational wealth. And I looked at my own family and realized that no one from my great-great-great-grandparents to my parents now have ever owned a home, like no one in my family. Wow. And it made me just be like, this is crazy. I always would grow up with my friends who would be like, yeah, this is my house and I grew up here, and they have like little marks on their doors of where they grew up. And that whole concept of like growing up in a house and having a dog and having stability is just like something that myself and a lot of people in my community just have never experienced. And so for me, when that happened, and I was like, typically I would take all the money that I get and circle it back into my career and make videos and pay for myself to go on tour. And this year I'm in a unique situation where I'm not going to be going on tour this year, probably not next year either. You know, I was saying about, 2021. And I was like, this is a time where I could like take the money that I'm getting, save it up for the whole year and find something for me to do next year in January. And I realized that really quickly, like in March, that everything was going to shut down. And so I just saved and made deals that, and I was like, if I get a home, I want it to be like a dream home. I want it to be a home that I'm like so proud of, not just to say that I bought a house to have one, because I'm not a homebody, but I really like to stay at home and create. And I feel like I'm entering into the next level of my career. People always say like, what's next for you? And for me, if that was one of the questions you were going to ask today.
Probably eventually, yes.
But I love Broadway so much that I'm like, I got to work with Andrew Lloyd Webber over quarantine. And I was
insanity.
Wow.
It was just so insane to sit in a room with someone playing the piano who like created Phantom of the Opera. Like it's so iconic that you feel like it just existed, like it was founded in a rainforest somewhere. Like, Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, it feels like a fake name. It's like when you say that, it's like, oh, Toddy just collabed with Elvis.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm like, this is a real person that existed. It's not just a fictional character that we learned in musical theater.
Exactly. And when I was listening to him, I was like, this is what I want to be doing. I want to be creating a legacy. I want to write Broadway musicals and have them performed all over the world. I want to write movies and books, and I have so many ideas. And so I was like, I want to buy a safe haven for me to be able to do all of the things that my heart like always desired. Because I think a lot of things that we do as artists is like when people ask us, I was just talking to my assistant Stuart about this like 2 days ago. When people ask us, what do we want to do? Like, what's your dream? What's your goal? Like you automatically like Photoshop your dreams and take the that you'd be embarrassed to say out loud out. Yeah. And I really want to like normalize for everyone, but also specifically for myself, just being like, I want to be the gay Beyonce. I want to sell out the Staples Center. I want to sell out Madison Square Garden, because that's what I would really want. But for so long, there's been no representation for someone who looks like me, that to even say that out loud, it sounds unfathomable, and you think someone's going to laugh at you on the other end. But this year during quarantine, I started just not caring if people are going to laugh at me, because they've been probably laughing at me before. And I just, I just really don't care anymore. I'm not ashamed of my dreams and my goals. And like, I want to write Tony award-winning Broadway musical, and I want to do it in this house. So that's what I did.
That's awesome. No, I think that's amazing. I think too many people, like you said, normalizing like loftier goals and like just really kind of owning it, because so much you feel like you're maybe not an artist if you're going, well, I want all these things where people go, well, as long as I'm creating art, and it's like, no, I want to create art and make a lot of money and have premieres, and that's not a bad thing. Those things exist. You just need to be the next generation of it.
And the imposter syndrome of it all is a very real situation that happens for all of us, and our brains are our best friends and our worst enemies at the same time. I think it's so interesting, Todrick, that like your art, because you've been obsessed with Wizard of Oz, and you've said this on your Instagram, like the core
theme
lesson is that there's no place like home. And this year you finally, like, you've been screaming it unconsciously in all your shows, and now it feels like this year you got to really connect with that feeling and like say yes to it, and now grow this like great new chapter of your life. It's so exciting. I get chills thinking about it.
I know. I want to see ruby loafers in that case behind you, sir.
They're actually right outside my door, framed. I'm actually gonna walk you over there so you can.
Oh yes, please, house tour.
We get a tour. We get a tour.
I feel like it's, you know, some people would say it's self-absorbed to like put your costumes and stuff around your house, but I'm super, super proud of this. So like I have my costumes all framed.
Amazing.
I love it.
I love it. The ruby tables.
I mean, they're gorgeous. Like the thing is, your costumes also are really beautiful. Like truly.
Thank you.
So they are pieces of art.
Every year I'm like going through like a different part of my life, like where like I am a hopeless romantic and I want to be in love and married and have kids so badly. But like, I was always so paranoid about the fact that, you know, every now and then she likes to put on a heel and a lash and, you know, like live her fantasy. And I remember when I was dating like my longest boyfriend that I had, Jesse, who I think you both met at some point. Maybe not you, Mamrie, but I know for sure Grace has. And it was, I thank him so much for being so open-minded during that time, even though that shouldn't be something you should give somebody a cookie for. But like during that time, I was so paranoid about like anytime I did anything that was gay or too girly or too, you know, feminine by society standards, I'd be like, you cannot watch this. You have to leave the room. Like, and we would be in fights and I'd be dressed up as Cinderella and I'd be like, get out. Okay.
To be your neighbor. Oh, to be your neighbor.
To be my
Oh my God. I would be full on just that like gif of the eagle from the Muppets.
I know. Wait, have the neighbors, how are the neighbors actually?
The neighbors are great. I'm a good person to live with because even though like I bought a house that everyone comes and is like, you're going to throw the best parties. I'm not really a partier. I don't drink. I just started drinking since I got into this house. I had my first glass of wine like a month and a half ago.
You're becoming the housewife you've always maybe didn't know you should be.
Todrick, we're going to have a little just champagne class. Just to see what you want. Just a tasting.
If I'm going to learn how to like professionally drink alcohol, I think that Mamrie, you are the perfect professor for me.
God bless.
You're in a safe space.
If there was a union for drinking, that you would be dues paid.
To be the president, for sure. I have to ask this, even though it's like we're talking about life and goals. And how did the Louis Vuitton bed come to be? We see it in the corner. You Instagrammed it. You full on. Your bed is a king-size Louis Vuitton purse, essentially.
Well, it's an entire Louis Vuitton store, showroom. It's incredible. Like, I've been to the places that you have, like, rented before that you didn't own, and they felt like I was entering into this fantasy world. Like, your decor, I like, you know, little quirky things here and there, but you had taken it to this level that inspired and amazed me. And so now that you're in, like, your own home.
Candidates for boyfriendness, like, they would always come and be like, I like you, but the Pee Wee Herman streets have got to go. Like, it's too much.
I have a Pee Wee Herman painting in my kitchen, love. I mean, I adore him. But, like, this is opulence.
This bed, was this like a plan or was this presented to you? Did you come up with this?
No, I very much so presented this to myself. And
I would expect nothing less.
I love it.
I am just the king of being extra. You know, like, I love, like, fancy things. Like I love just, I don't feel that I am bougie, like, but I do like love like a nice like Louis or Gucci bag.
Sure.
And I almost like at a certain point, I was like, Todrick, you're not using these. Like when you go on vacations and stuff, you only can take one of these bags. You're not using them. But I almost just like collect them and like put them on display. So then I was like, well, if that's what I'm going to do and I'm not going to wear them, then I should find like a really nice way to display these. And so I designed this bed with Marco, who makes my costumes. And I was like, I want it to be a huge case with a sign that says, I woke up like this, to shout out to Beyonce. And I wanted to have everything, like it's everything I ever needed. Like, cause I'm always like getting these like nasty, like cock ring circles on the side of my bed from like the drinks or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I need a cup holder. Okay. I need a place where I can put my lube so that in the event that a gentleman caller should come,
oh my God,
he's prepared. I mean, no one likes that moment where you have to get up. What is the age range for this show?
Oh, no, you're fine. I have a little slot in my bed frame where I can reach for the magic wand. Yeah. Like, I got it set. I know it.
Yeah.
But, like, now that you've designed this, I think a possible future endeavor for you could be making beds, like fantasy beds. I'm just saying.
I love it. No, it's because you spend, in theory, a half or a third of your life in this bed.
Right.
Mamrie, you probably spend more time in it. And I just feel like... And I just feel like if you're going to spend that much time, it should be like an oasis. And so my bed vibrates. It like lifts the
wow.
They put out an article.
So
I saw like one of the, like the gay blogs put out an article about my bed and people were like, that is such a tacky bed. And I'm like, well, bitch, guess what? You don't have to sleep in it. And they were like, that looks like on top of being tacky, it's super uncomfortable. And I just have to say to those haters, my bed is so comfortable. Like I'm sleeping like I've never slept before. And I'm so glad that I listened to Oprah or Beyonce or whoever I heard it from when they were like, when you get a home, invest in a nice bed because it has changed the way I sleep. It's changed my energy, everything.
That's great advice.
And when you come out with your own line, I think the tagline should be Todrick gives good headboard.
I love that.
There you go.
See, Mamrie, this has needed to happen for a long time.
It has. I'm feeling inspirato.
I feel like the universe can't handle the collaborations that could come from you two working together.
You write the songs, I'll write the book. We're headed to Broadway 2023. Okay, we're going to wrap it up with a fun little game.
Yes.
Grace, would you like to explain it? She came up with it and it's killing me.
We came up with a fun little game based on your interests.
Okay.
This game is called, we're going to say a name, and then basically you have to guess if it's a lesser known Disney character or a more common antidepressant.
Okay. Let's do it.
So yeah, it's either a Disney character or an antidepressant. And we'll see, because you love Disney so much, we're going to check and see if you can tell the difference.
Are there any C all of the aboves?
No.
Okay.
There are not, but great question.
Okay, there's 6 of them.
Okay.
And our first one, Todrick, bonus points if you can name details about the antidepressant or the film.
We don't know the details about the antidepressant. This is just a Google search.
Okay. This name is Tontor.
Tontor. That sounds like a Disney character, but I don't know what they would be from. But that does not sound like an antidepressant.
Okay. And correct.
Correct.
Tontor is the hypochondriac red elephant from Tarzan.
Oh, wow. Well, good. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Nice. You got the hang of it.
Cutie.
Next one, Celexa.
Celexa. That definitely sounds like an antidepressant for sure.
Correct. He's too good.
Thank you.
Third, Pascal.
Pascal, that sounds like a Disney character from, I don't know, The Jungle Book or something. I have no idea.
Rapunzel's pet chameleon entangled.
There you go.
He's 3 for 3.
Hey,
I love it.
Your turn up.
Prestique.
That also sounds like that would be an antidepressant. Is it a character?
No,
you're
it's so good. You're so good.
Yes, crushing
Excellent
it.
at this game.
Okay, and
That sounded like an antidepressant or RuPaul's Drag Race character.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, 2 more. Lavox.
Lavox. That also sounds like an antidepressant for some reason. I don't know why. Is that an antidepressant?
Because it is an antidepressant.
I was going to be like, it's the mouse from...
Oh my gosh.
The thief
This
mouse.
is the Fox and the Hound's cousin from
Yes,
across the tracks.
exactly.
Love Ox.
And then one more. Figaro.
Figaro. That sounds like something that you put on genital warts to me, but maybe is that an antidepressant as well?
It's the cat from Pinocchio. We got him, Grace.
Oh,
It's
my
Figaro. I
gosh.
might have pronounced it differently.
I think it's Figaro for sure.
Well, you know, Figaro.
Tomato,
potato, you know. Yeah, that
Great
you guys
job.
are wrong on that one, but I will let you have that.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Let us have
We know
something,
Figaro.
Todrick.
This is the only thing we've worked on in quarantine, so let us have this
So I'll
game.
let you have it. Okay. Figaro.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Oh my
Todrick,
gosh.
we have to ask you the question that you've kind of already answered. What is coming up for you? Are you doing more like stay in your home, nest, like create from there? Are there plans eventually for more? I mean, you just released your House Party 3.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Small
Thank
thing.
you so
You know.
much.
Another incredible feat. So what are the future plans for you, if there are any? And it's also cool if there are none.
No,
And now
there
you're just
are
having your
future
own
plans.
personal house party.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
You're having your own personal I own this house party.
Yes. Well, I do want to have a house party for my birthday. So I'm hoping that things are safe enough. By April 4th, you will be both getting an invite. So I hope you're
Love it.
in town. And I hope you're not doing no crazy shit, Mamrie, so that you don't come, so that you're safe. Because there will be a nose swab test. Okay.
I'm correct. I
Mamrie
get
is-
tested
yeah,
more than
Mamrie-
I get rested. Okay.
No, I'm gonna have a party, a housewarming party April 4th. If it's, you know, like if I won't be canceled for doing it, I'm hoping and praying in the next month and a half things like clear up a little bit, and we're gonna have COVID testing outside. So I hope that you both can make it.
Cool.
Like I said, I have really great ideas for a book, a movie, a TV show, and a musical, and so I'm just going to start working on those things simultaneously, so that when the world opens back up, I'll have something to present. And
Yes.
yeah, and I have a bunch of new music coming out this year. So I've been writing a lot of albums, and I'm shooting music videos. So this year is going to be, dare I say, even gayer than the last year when I put out
so
the gay
excited.
I need it.
I can't wait to see what you cook up. It feels like that moment in Project Runway where the designers go home and work on their collection.
Yeah.
And then they're like, check out all this shit I made. So
with no distractions.
I'm
and the
so
comfort of my own home.
well, thank you so much for making time for us. We
Yes.
know you are the world's busiest man and there's only 24 hours, but we
Exactly.
love you and adore you and
And-
can't wait to see what you come up with.
As always, where can people find you and listen to the music and everything that's going on if they don't already know?
I don't know any other Todrick, so just spell it right. Todrick. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and I'm now a TikToker, which I'm very proud
Yes,
of.
you
we
are.
know. Oh,
Yes,
that-
you are.
We need a whole other podcast for that
I
because
know.
these two grandmas.
I need a tutorial. A TikTorial.
Honestly, shout out to Noah Beck. I know he's probably 14 years old, but he just is so beautiful to me. So I just started following him on TikTok, and I said, you know what? If I'm gonna be here anyway, might as well contribute. Might as well upload a little something.
There you go.
So yeah,
Wow.
I'm on TikTok now, and I'm having so much fun doing it. It's been really, really
Nice.
cool and really fun. And we should do a TikTok together when we see each other in person.
There we go.
Yes.
So many plans.
So many plans. Well, thank you, Todrick. We love you.
I love you, ladies.
Thank you for making time. Good luck living in the most gorgeous, glamorous house I've ever seen.
Thank you. I can't wait to see y'all. Mwah.
Take care.
Bye.
Wow. Well, wasn't that a beautiful catch up with the one and only Todrick Hall?
He is incredible. Speaking of incredible, our food, which just got delivered by DoorDash, smells tasty. So let's go ahead and wrap this thing up.
We'll see you guys next week on another episode of How Ya Been?